Hi, Alejandro.
Howdy, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
You're very, very fuzzy.
I was just about to say, why am I blurry?
I don't
That's
know. I mean, can you wipe your camera with some
yeah,
alcohol or a wipe?
maybe that's it. Let's see. Ah,
Much better.
I'm
I,
like, I'm like, here
that
we
was
go.
kind of
These
obvious.
computers. I was gonna blame the IT and computer.
I would, well, you can blame them. Whether or not it sticks is another thing, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
How you
Let
doing?
me get. You know what? Let me close the door real quick. Give me a second, Alejandro.
Okay.
Alrighty. And also, before we start, I did see your the email of Canva. Um, So do you want me to reply via email? Because I'm gonna meet with you today. So just reply to the email, just to.
You reply to the email what time you want to do it. And just as a reminder, this is not a graphic design class. It is, and you'll see when I show you the website right now, what we want to do. Like, I'm really interested this time around in redesigning the website and making it as useful as possible
Mhm.
for staff, right? Not just as a tool of outreach, but what are the materials that we can put on the web for you that aren't articles, us harassing you for articles, right, et cetera, et cetera, right?
Mhm.
And what would make it easier? So we have a whole new toolkit, right, in our heads that we want to implement. All right. So if it's okay with you, then I'll start.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Here we go. Ba, 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 present screen. All right. Go to my. All right. So because I'm assuming you've already seen. Stop me whenever something you want to know or something doesn't make sense or right
Okay.
something you had a question about. So this is the homepage, right? And in reality, this is sort of the historical side of the cultural center,
Mhm.
right? The day-to-day stuff is under here under La Voz, right? Which used to be the cultural center. This is just a rebranded, right?
Okay. Okay.
So when I talk about the Canva ads, right, ideally we want everyone, one person from each program to have a license, right, to be able to produce these kinds. See this one up here? This is what we call a banner, as
Mhm.
well as this one, all right, here. So the idea is if you all are doing leaflets for your own events already, you need to give us your leaflets and learn how to put them in this dimension, right? The
Okay.
good thing about this, and like this is a good example. I did this one on the fly and it's horrible. Why is it horrible? Because it's too small. And we're
Okay.
trying to put the same amount of information that we do on a big leaflet in a small banner.
Mm-hmm.
But the wonderful thing, since this is online, is if I click on it, right, it should take me to the Chicago Cuba Coalition Facebook page.
Okay.
In other words, we can do this for any leaflet, even if it's not an external, it doesn't have to be an external page. It can take you to your section on the web, right? It can be an instant download of an event, right? It can be a leaflet, a PDF, it can go take you to a website, right? So that's the cool thing. All you would do is put in here, click for more information,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So, in other words, you wouldn't make the mistake I made by having this horribly tiny, teeny type.
Let's hope I don't make the same mistake.
Right, right, right. So that's what I want to say, right? Um, but so that's one of the good things, right? So we go back to the cultural center, and this is just the short 10-minute version, right? It is for the four pillars, right? You're especially concerned with here. Read more. But let me take you up here. This is going to be a banner This is an 18-second video. We're redoing some of it because I do believe this is what we want to say is the most, how far we've come, right? This is our how far we've come video. Then you have 5 slides, one from each decade. The bottom here, you see view slideshow. That takes us to an actual slideshow. Well, that's not true, slides. And each decade, by the time we're done, we'll have 35 to 50 pictures with a minimum of 1 or 2 sentences, and some will have much more. Some will have added video or audio or newspaper clippings, right? To give people the whole idea of that. There's also a timeline that's coming later on. But right now, let me show you this. So here's the video, right? About our work takes you to one card. Let's let this go. This is going to be, I told you, rework just to add some food from Wepa and Janelli's as an like these are the best things. Our youth, our culture, etc. Right? All right. See down here, view slideshow.
Where did you click? I missed that.
No, that's fine. It's because it's fast, right? But you click on that, and this is the only one that's active. In other words, 1980, 2000, none of those are active. This is the only one that will take you here. This is what we want. I don't like the way this visually looks. I'm going to work on it. But these are the 70s. So if I click on this article, right, it takes you to the actual piece that we've written. This is one of the exceptions that I told you about. It's going to be much longer, right? So this is a whole paragraph detailing who it is, when the event is, etc., etc. It takes you to a slideshow you can click on, right? And it takes you to our Flickr. This is an actual, right? All the pictures we took of that event. Again, this is November 11th, right? So we can go back. And it also has, this is a video. This is a video of the funeral of Angel, who this article is about, right? That year, 79. So we got it because somebody taped the news coverage of the funeral.
Wow.
And it has, it's fuzzy, but it also has good sound, right? And this is in Puerto Rico, literally like the 12th or 13th of November.
Wow.
Alrededor de las 4 de la tarde y al doble de campanas. De la Iglesia Católica de
So my point is that to give the reader, in this year, an idea of everything that's happening, that happened then, right, as completely as possible. So one of the people there also, wrote a poem at that time in English and Spanish, and we're hunting down the Spanish version, right? But this is that, right? And then 2 months later, January, February of 1980, some people wrote and or dedicated a bulletin to Angel, right? Now, you can read this, as long as it's a PDF, you can read it. Now, you say some people are going to complain because what? The type is too small. However, all you do is click on that button and boom, right? It's full page. So we can do this with anything that you have that you want us to do it with that's a PDF, right? So people can read it and they don't have to download it. We can give them permission to download it, etc., right? So let's go back. So my point is, I just wanted to lay out the thing of the 70s. The rest will be like that, except that they say under construction, right? Instead of view slideshow. Okay so far?
Yes.
All right, so here, let's go straight to public health. We'll come back to the other ones. This is where you need to tell us what we're missing, if we're missing anything, and we'll tell you if this could be better, right? The idea is that here, when you click on more coming soon, it should take you to all of the articles on the La Voz side, right? It should group automatically all the articles around violence, intervention and prevention, right? Or by Vida Sida. In other words, these 6, what I call cards, are the articles that are the programs that fall under public health.
Okay, so violence prevention doesn't fall under public health.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's on
That's
Xiomara.
just
But let
yeah,
me,
that's Jesse's program.
okay, let
Just
me take
wanted-
note of that. Violence prevention does not fall under public health. Oh, and you know what? I'm sorry. I am recording this meeting because
Yeah.
Matt, my nephew,
Yeah.
couldn't make it, and so he asked me to record it so he can view it. All right. All right. Cool. So that's one. If there's anything else, please point it out.
I believe you guys have. Let me see if I could. I believe the contact information you all have is Dr. Cobb's.
The what? I'm sorry.
The contact information is
Yes,
Dr.
right
Cobb's.
here under Vida Sida.
Yeah, so remove that because he's no longer. I mean, he's a consultant on 2 federal grants with his like own company, but he's no longer
No,
over.
that's fine. I listen. If you just tell me to do something, I'll do. I'm easy like that. Right?
Thank you. So just you could put my contact, or I'm thinking, because each program has their own associate director.
Right.
So like Vida Sida would be Gabriela, La Bodega would be Leonie. So La Bodega Muévete, that would be Leonie. And
Okay.
Muévete, it's kind of like a supplemental program that started years ago and just remained. So I'm trying to think how could we move that around?
So okay, explain that to me one more time because I have an idea.
Okay, so Muévete it's a supplemental
Right.
program.
Right. Okay. I get it. Started out as I was there when it started, right?
Exactly. So it's remained. It's remained.
Right.
The community likes it. They enjoy it. It's free, so it stays. However, that falls under La Bodega. So maybe when you click on La Bodega, it could show you everything La Bodega offers.
Okay, so we can collapse it there. That's fine. There's no problem there. Now, in the more coming soon, this is where you'll see, and I think this is a problem all across the cultural center. All we want when Matt and Xiomara beg for articles is 1 or 2 paragraphs. If this is 1 paragraph, we just want a second one plus 1 shot, right? Because we do such good work. We do the work. The question is documenting it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we click on more coming soon, we want to be able to go to the events, right, in La Voz, right, or something else. In other words, if more coming soon, like my idea, and Leonie gave it to me, I said, Leonie, we should just put the schedule up on a web page, right, on La Voz side. So we click on see the schedule. Now, it doesn't matter, Carmen, if you and I are talking about collapsing Muévete into La Bodega. That's fine. Mm-hmm. We can still do that, right? When they click on whatever we want this to say, they'll have an option to view Muévete schedule, mm-hmm. right? And the good thing is, any changes Leonie tells us, we'll change it. It will always be evergreen, right? Otherwise, everything becomes horribly dated if you give us like a static picture of it instead of text. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I would appreciate, like, the mechanics of it are easy for me.
Okay.
Tell me how you want it worded so we have 1 card. If La Bodega is the umbrella, right, then does it have 2 different contacts?
So it would be so Leonie would be the primary contact because she's the associate director of La Bodega. Okay. So it would be obviously Muévete, obviously our CDPH, grants, and we have a nutrition class that's held at El Mercado. That'd be nice to put in there as well.
Do you want to take, so when you say we have the RM whatever grant, do you want that in the description here? Maybe this is the only place, right?
Not grants per se, but more of like what we offer. For example, like Leonie offers, one of her grants offers food distribution, right, for people living with HIV, and then there's a schedule for that. So and also you have to qualify, Sure. So there's an application that they go through. So I'm wondering now that you and I are like brainstorming, I'm wondering if maybe that application could be posted online. I don't know, like you tell me, like that way, like click away,
It's exactly the kind of feedback we want. So this is what I would do. Some of it is your work and some of it is mine. Oh, and you notice I also, and I bounced it off of Leonie, I really didn't like the old logo, right? So I took it upon myself with Leonie's input and Jose's, right? We got rid of the pineapple, right? And what do you call this?
Let me see, I can't see.
It's, oh my God, you know, it's when you mash stuff.
Pilong.
Pilon, like in my mind, my Mexican mind, I'm thinking, you know, the Puerto Rican molcajete.
Yeah.
So I also changed it from La Bodega Food Bank size-wise to La Bodega del Barrio, and I put Food Bank here on the side.
Okay.
Right? All the logos that we're redoing, and I'll get to that. We're adding, and this was Leonie's idea, but I made it all the logos. We're putting EST and the year it started, established.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like it too, because all of a sudden we have like 6 annual events that are at least 20 years old, 17 to, you know, to 45 years old. 45 is the parade, right? So that's, let me not get carried away here. So what I'm asking that would be your part of it is take a look at these, and maybe with the exception of La Bodega and Muévete, you won't have to rewrite anything. But tell me, just send me an email and say, you know, for La Bodega, we call these cards, right? Like playing cards.
Mhm.
You know, please use this text, and I'll, you know, that's as easy as it gets, right?
Okay.
And then what you were saying is, if you have an app, you can say download. I mean, I'll say download the
Yeah.
application here, right? And then that's what we'll be, because when we get to the childcare, you'll see that's exactly what happens, and you'll see how easy it is.
Okay.
Now, the other thing about Muévete is, and we want to take advantage of this, is the history, right? So we have our ¿cómo se llama? Our Flickr account, right? Maybe 50 or 60, maybe more over the years of pictures of different groups of people doing Muévete, as well as, I think there's a short video, and Muévete, I mean, Leonie, at one point, maybe after 5 or 10 years, wrote, you know, a manual for it, right? How to establish your own Muévete. I don't know if you know that or you've seen it.
I will ask her. I will ask her.
No, I have it. We have the PDF.
Okay.
My point is, how do we put it on the website to, you know, make it, in other words, it's a piece of history. I would like you to read it, but my point is, we want to be able to say, this is how long this program has been around and serving the community, right? So that's the important part.
Okay.
So anyway, I'll be glad to send you that link.
No,
Right.
yeah. And also, I know you said there we have a Flickr, right? And you know, let me know how you feel about this. So I know one thing Leonie had a problem with was pictures. You know, a lot of pictures are very old. One thing Leonie mentioned is that, you know, and some of these pictures, some of these participants are deceased already. So, so how can
So the
picture-wise?
specifically, Matt, my nephew, and her have already or are setting up a date to do a photo shoot and a video shoot of the new Muévete, right?
Okay.
That I know of. No one else in any other, and that doesn't mean it hasn't happened, is deceased that we're showing in a picture.
Okay.
But I know that's true because Leonie sent, I would say, an irritated email to Xiomara and Matt and myself, and I said, no, we got to fix this, you guys. And you know, it would be, it's not acceptable if something's wrong. It's even worse when somebody says this is wrong and we don't do anything about it, right? So we're on that, and Matt is supposed to be coordinating it with Leonie.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So if that's okay, send me the form in PDF, the application, I should say, right? Format, and send me the reworked text, and I'll get rid of Muévete and use the text here for both of them and download the application. The text in here could even say, you know, whatever you want to say about Muévete, and a link, right? Visit here for more on Muévete,
Okay. Okay. And then so now since we're on this topic, Vida Sida and Trans Empowerment Center, um, they have programs, same thing with the QR code. So can we we'd add the QR code under these cards as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So, Vida Sida and Trans Empowerment use QR codes to do what? What does a QR code do?
So for example, like let me see right here. So under Vida Sida, we have the Gay Business Initiative,
Uh-huh.
GBI, which is GBI, and that's for gay Latino men to go to, be
No,
a
no,
part.
right. But where does it, in
Yeah,
other
so
words,
there's a QR code, right?
if
So
I
they
scan
scan
the QR code, does it take me to a web page?
yes, it'll take you to a web page with information and all that. And then for TEC, there's two. There's two QR codes. There's one for, again, it's like the ages, and the QR code sends you to like kind of like a sign up sheet,
Uh-huh.
like your age, your gender. Do you want to a follow up phone call, your email, what services are you looking for, like that.
Okay, so I want to think this. So yes, I'm now the thing that's confusing to me in terms of organizing it is that TEC has two QR codes, and I want to be able to explain what each one is. So,
Okay.
my
Okay.
mind, does it, do we put on this blue bar, click for more information, and that takes them to a separate page where the only function is the two QR codes with, two or three lines explaining what each one is,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And, of course, I would like, since we're doing the separate page, I would like a picture to go with the QR codes and the description, right? Just one of each, one for the two, of each of the QR codes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining myself.
No, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. That way people are like, know which one, because like one of them is like for a certain age group, and then
Right.
the other, no. So okay.
All right.
Mhm.
And anything else on this page?
So behavioral health might be kind of like an ongoing thing because I'm in the process of submitting for us to be so we could be licensed under Medicaid, so we could bill for Medicaid. So that'd be great to put on there, but it hasn't happened yet. So we're like, I'm meeting with Jose Luis to discuss like building and all that stuff.
Okay.
So that'd be more of an ongoing thing for behavioral health.
Yeah.
And then we do not have Ricaldo's program.
Which is what?
CHRC, that's out in Belmont and Cragen.
Diversity. Diversity.
Yeah.
So I would need a one paragraph description, and we have the picture, because the other thing that I really like is the updated Google Maps. I don't know if you've seen that, but I'll show it to you in a second, right? But we have the picture of that building. We just need a paragraph, and if they have a brochure, that they want us to be able to download for more information, whatever, right? Or a Facebook page, right? It could be a Facebook page, right? So that's true of any of the programs.
Okay.
Okay.
And then do you have how right here at the bottom it says, follow and like us, Facebook, tweet.
Now these are the cultural centers.
Okay, that was my question. So TEC Trans Empowerment Center, we have an Instagram page and a TikTok.
That's great, because then what we should do here on the separate page you and I just invented, we can do that. We can put the what's it called? The logos, whatever, the links to the social media.
Okay. Okay.
And so that means I need the social media URL, the address, right?
Okay.
As well as we can use the same logos, right? Facebook. We'll just find a different version of it. But that's fine. All right.
Perfect. Perfect.
And that's true for Muévete or anybody else who has their own Facebook page. My point is, let's more tightly integrate them.
Yes, I agree. And then And do you feel that this can all still be like user friendly? Kind of like click, 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 click. Because I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, that's great. We could put an application out there, but does everyone have access to a computer? Could they fill out the application on their phone? Will there be a PRCC app?
There's not a PSCC app, but our mobile, if you go on your phone, right, you should be able to do everything. Now, filling out the form, what forms are they? Because yes, technically speaking, yes, they are, but we would have to convert them. In other words, you
Okay.
send me a PDF form, right? And I use Adobe Acrobat Pro to convert them into a fillable form. When you tell me these are the fields, is there a signature or not a signature? My point is, yes, and then we post it back up, and then we test it. But yes, absolutely, that should be possible.
Okay. Okay, cool.
All
And then
right.
what else? What else? There was another question that I saw. Came over there. Okay. I think that's it. I had a question, but it's on my wheel. I think that's it. But I'll make sure to review all this again. Review all this.
No,
Make
that's
sure.
fine. I'm going to go through the other stuff. Like, take a look at this. I don't know where Xiomara gave me all the text.
Okay. Okay.
I appreciate any corrections you want me to do or edits.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to our initiatives, right? And here you'll see, basically, it's the same thing. Economic development,
Mhm.
business initiatives, Wepa Mercado, Chicago al Fresco, Puerto Rico Town, where we don't have a lot of articles, and this is an ongoing problem that I told you that our people don't write, our staff, right?
Mhm.
So I put a video, Puerto Rico Town. Everybody's hyped up about it. What is it? All we have is the video of a press conference announcing Puerto Rico Town, as well as the downloading of the brochure, right? That what's his name did before he left, Emmanuel, right? So this is just a press conference, right? That talked about Puerto Rico Town. That's the actual legislation that gave birth to it, right?
You want to see the people have.
All right, let me turn that off. So here, come on. If I do this, read more, I think this goes to SBDC website, right there, which is what we want. But both of them, and I understand that they just are on the verge of finishing a second website, which is for WEPA Online, right? There's
Okay.
just one that's there that's nobody likes. It's too high maintenance, this one. And DSBDA, I know it plays
Yeah.
right, another role. This is the actual website that they want to send it to, the SBDC one. WEPA, this is the old one because they haven't given me the new one yet.
Okay.
This is.
Oh, okay, okay. And
Right.
also they just open up a second incubator.
Yes, which is
Yeah.
which is the new one. The new website will take that into account, right? Because Wesley is doing that. Okay, so here, let's go back to our initiatives and to education. All right, so here, download our brochure. Click on it, boom.
Mm.
Right, this is meant to be folded, but right, because it's an actual printed brochure, but it's great.
Oh, that looks really good.
Well, thank you. I designed it, but I did use a template, so
Good.
I don't
Yeah.
want to take all the credit.
No, that looks really good. Straight to the point. Pictures, what we do looks really good.
All right. This one, Communities of Campus. Marvin has their own website, but so it takes you straight there. All right.
So do you advise do you feel like, PHI should have their own website as well?
No, I think you should concentrate and work with us on building out. We can do a separate web page here,
Okay.
right? Which I agree. The problem with, and I said this to Marvin, I complain about it. Is this stuff, people come and go. So, the problem is, unless we shut down websites as fast as we put them up when there's a changeover and there's no one to take care of it, or people complain, that's not my job description. It's easier for us to work with the program and say, here, this is your page. Give us the content. we'll change it gladly, quickly, right? And it's not that high maintenance. A website is all its own business. You have a hosting fee. You know, I know that SBDC that they pay their own developer, right, to do that web page, but it's in the grant program, right, the Illinois grant. So my point is, unless you are a full-fledged, you have tons of content, you know, I would say work with us around the page instead of doing your own website, because then it's going to become horribly outdated. I speak from experience, right? And whether or not it looks pretty or not is never the point. The question is, are you giving the community and people and funders who look at our website the best look at us with the most up-to-date information? How can we serve you? What do you need in your hands that this website can provide?
So when you say, you know what, it just popped into my head. For PHI,
Yeah.
you put somewhere in PHI, thank you to our funders. And we all of our funders, like we're funded by CDPH, IDPH, CDC, Viv Healthcare, which is a pharmaceutical company.
Sure.
AFC, you know, like I wonder if we could put, you know, thank you to our sponsors or thank you to our funders, you know.
Yes, so I'll show you exactly. So that we're at a good place, because what I can do for every pillar, right, which is what we want, is what you're saying for PHI. All right, so visit our website. Okay, fine. Here we're doing one page, and this is the same concept for each of these 6 annual events. We're also doing a logo redesign, because we're institutionalizing the year in the logo that we will establish. So the parade, this is the official new logo, right? 1978. Fiesta Boricua was just a touch-up. We made it the Taino Sol instead of just a sun, right? But it says established 1993. All of the logos will have when we started them, right? To give people an idea of how long they've been around. Now, the cool thing is, visit our page. Excuse me. Each of the events has a page. Can I make this smaller? There. That combines multimedia. So first of all, each of the pages has our own description. And this is where your thank you could go in, right, to the different funders. Not only does it say for the events, the history and what makes us different, right? But it gives the up-to-date information for this year's parade. That's true of everyone except the Three Kings one, which is next year, and we don't have the time yet, right? But when we click on it this way, again, with the magic of QR codes, before we could send out a QR code in terms of mobilization, right? We can put on that banner ad, we can do combinations of stuff, right? So the point is, in the La Voz here, these banner ads, instead of this picture or in addition to this picture, could have the QR code, right? So my point is, we should use everything at our disposal. Like this, if this is the PHI page, you know, here you have, this is what PHI does. These are the programs, and here are the articles and pictures and videos that, you know, belong to the PHR program, right? There's the logo. Here's videos from the different years. Here is the sponsorship package for this year's parade. So they can download it and fill it out on the computer. This is exactly what you were talking about, right? These are just pictures from the years before. I mean, literally, we have like 35 years worth of pictures from each parade, right? But just think of it in terms of the PHI. So you could have it here, you could have it at the bottom, but you could say, PHI is generously funded by the following organizations, you know, and that's it, right? But the point is, it's a permanent piece that the QR code on the banner, you know, boom, points you there. It's one way to make sure, and let's finish this, on your digital business card, all of your employees, all of your staff could have that QR code to say, hey, you want to read about us? Yes, the center's great, but we're better, and we're part of the center. Read about us here, and we'll take you directly to this page.
Okay. And then for like PHI, so I'm noticing like lots of pictures on, on this event. Um, do you recommend like a section where it's just like archives and then people click, or do you just want kind of like
Well,
picture?
what would be the archives? Would it be text? Would it be pictures,
It'd be
videos?
yeah, like videos and pictures, because we also host World AIDS Day.
So
That's
I
a
would
big
say so yes, but the culture, so uh, you don't need to do separate archives. I would say you should give us the pictures we'll put on our Flickr, right? Because then we use them for the newspaper, we use them, the printed newspaper, we use them for the website, right? We use them for, and you guys would have access to them. I mean, apart from having copies. Same thing with the video. If you look at our YouTube channel, right, there's like 400 videos, different kinds of, but the point is, these are the permanent archives that it's easy to point to and say, I need this video,
Okay. Okay.
as opposed to they're on somebody's computer. Right.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here, again, here's the more examples of the brochure. Here's the Puerto Rico town brochure. Right.
Ooh, that's pretty.
You hadn't seen it?
I didn't see this one. Mm-mm.
See, we're not good at communicating as an organization. No, it's true.
No, because I saw the other ones. Like I saw like pictures. I even saw pictures of Dora in like the 70s and all that stuff. I'm like, oh my God, but I didn't see this.
No, this is just a brochure that Emmanuel did before he left, right? So it's got to be at least 5 months old. The point is this. This is the kind of thing when you click on download PR Town brochure, right? This could be anything that you want us to download, right? Under PHI, right? This is the bigger annual report, but I don't want to, we changed the name of it. So it's not annual, PRCC 50th booklet, something like that. But it's the same thing. It's the thick book with everything about us in it, right? Is it downloading or not? There it is.
Okay.
Right, so this downloads it literally onto their computer so they can take their time reading it or read it, as it is. Visit our programs. This I'm very proud of. We didn't invent it, but we updated it and modernized it, right? So here's our very cool.
I remember seeing the map. Yes, I did see the
map. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you click on anything and it pops up here, right? The thing that we did was now every program has hours of operation on the web, the contact person, phone number, email, right, and the physical address. Which we could also, as long as it has a web address, we can do a QR code for you.
Okay, let me write this down. So,
right? So that's how cool this is. And that's my point about we shouldn't have to, we should think more actively of how to connect stuff, right? And you and all the rest should challenge us. Hold on. I mean, I'll call you later. All right. So challenge us with how can you do this? In other words, the website should be much more of a resource because it should be linked actively to Facebook pages, to the YouTube channel, to the Flickr. In other words, we're doing tons of work, right? But I want the funders to see the best side of that. I want the staff to be able to say, here, go here, just scan this QR code from my phone. Boom.
Yes, I agree. And funders, they're one thing I've noticed with since I've come on board, but when I meet with the POs and all that, they say it. They're like, PRCC is doing a great job, but we want to see it. And it makes sense, because if I'm giving you money, right? If I'm funding you, I see what you're doing.
That's up for the funders. That's the point.
Exactly.
You want to be able to say, hey, we appreciate you. And your point about the page and naming all the funders, IDPH, CDPH, et cetera, is exactly, they're not partners like here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they are valued collaborators or funders. There's nothing dirty about the word funders.
Yeah.
So here's our partners, right? And these are all like websites. It's just a paragraph and it takes you straight to their website, right? Okay. All right, we're good?
Yes.
All right. So again, one of the things that people have told us in the past, it was very hard to find how to donate to the center. We've fixed that in two different ways. One is there's a card here, three different, right? This
Mhm.
is the article on how to donate more than one way. Leave us something in your will, whatever, leave us property. However, this is at the top of every webpage. Donate via PayPal, which is usually what people want to do,
Mhm.
right? Just click on it, boom, straight there.
Mhm.
All right. And that is both one, two, and then also in the La Voz. That's up here. Support the PRCC, right? And donate via PayPal.
Mhm.
Okay. So back here, let's go here. The other gem that's also in process, right, is the archives, right? I think this is where you saw the old pictures,
Okay, yeah.
right? So we're doing the Chicago, Puerto Rico posters. It's going to be over like 130 that we're responsible for, right? In other words, that Chicago's Puerto Rican activism is responsible for. And it's
Mhm.
connected to national issues, right? But you'll see the Chicago slant all along. Artifacts, I'm saying if we have rare and unusual pictures, right? You'll see them here, right? Or we have a 40th anniversary video. It's 5 minutes. It's from Channel 5, right? And they interview Jose. This is in 2006 because it was the 40th anniversary, right? But they interview other people also. The last interview of Rafael Cancel Miranda in Chicago at Clemente,
Mhm.
right? The poem, right? I'm looking for, and I've asked Ivan already for his help, a Latina actor with a good English pronunciation here, right? To read this poem,
Mm.
which is by the namesake of the what do you call it? Of the child care. But to give you an idea, here, what am I doing? Okay, there's the Spanish, the original Spanish version, Un Niño, right? Which we already have a wonderful Puerto Rican actress here say in Spanish, and it's just she's just I mean personal friend, but she is a professional
Un
actress.
niño. Un niño es un futuro inexorable, síntesis de la creación, amo de lo que ve, lo que toca, lo que oye, lo que siente, inhala, saborea.
So my point is that we give everybody sort of, to the extent that we can, organize what we have, the
Mhm.
full experience, both audio, video, and pictures, right, of the center. So that takes us back to here. So that was the archives, and this takes us straight to, if you have a position, Kevin posted on Indeed. This is just a link straight to Indeed, right?
Oh,
So you, once
okay.
you say, hey, we're hiring, go to our website, you click on apply here, boom, you're in Indeed,
Awesome.
our page, right? So these are everything we're hiring for. Again, just the thing of trying to connect everything, right? The program directors, present company accepted, Carmen. I want to make that clear because the rest of them are a bunch of lazy potato heads.
Wait, am I part of that group?
That's why I said present company accepted.
Okay, okay, just to make sure.
No. I look at it. I asked them for a paragraph and a picture. Somebody, I won't mention any names, gave me a page, like literally copy and pasted from a resume. Somebody gave me 2 sentences, right? I was like, well, and 90% of them didn't give me anything at all. So that's why this page says under construction. Right? We'll get to it, but I think it is important to show off our secondary leadership,
Okay.
right? And they just got to take it seriously. I think part of it is the process. Everybody is always overwhelmed, right? But I don't believe that. It's not that they don't do a lot of work. It's not that there isn't a lot of work to do. I think part of it is time management, right? We can do better and achieve the thing of showing our best side on the website to funders. We can do this, and I think it won't take significantly a lot of additional work, right? We're already doing the work. Now we're just saying, give us a picture and a paragraph,
Mhm.
right? The last one here is our esteemed board of directors. This is just them thanking, whoever's reading this, and also their projects, right? Like people have written books, so on and so forth. So this is about them, but then you have the bio, right?
Do you think it's beneficial? And I'm just looking at it as a consumer. That like it's the board of directors, right? Their bio, but that in their bio it shows their books and stuff, because it's kind of confusing. Because I'm like, oh yeah, board of directors. I'm like, wait, what is figures of the future? What is, I already know what the solidarity that one is, because I know that book just came out, but like,
right, no, but so the headline. See, I used to have it that way, but then because it's an uneven development. Some board of directors have a ridiculous number of publications, right? I mean, like 10, 12, and some have one, right? So this was my attempt to visually even it out, right? So, but it also, and this is what I thought was being clear, publications and projects, right? Or publications. So this gives you the whole list of what Anne has done, right? That we have access to. The paper she's co-written, et cetera, et cetera. And the same thing for like Margaret, who's the other prolific author, right?
Or maybe you could separate it, because it just kind of like.
But separated how?
Like the board of directors, right? And then put publications.
But I mean, publications on a separate page?
No, and it's the mismo, because I'm looking, okay, board of directors, right? So it's like 7 of them. And then, so right there after the last guy, is it Luis?
That's me.
That's you? That doesn't look like.
Thank you. I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment.
No, you have a mustache or.
Well, there I had a mustache and a beard.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I know I'm not crazy.
It's not that different, man.
But like after you then goes kind of like.
You mean break it so it starts.
Break it up. Yeah, because it's like all together. Okay. It's like, yeah, break it up.
I can try to figure that out. Absolutely.
Like board directors and then publications.
Okay. All right. So basically, I think that's it for the website. I do have 2 other things, right? So there's a training, one more training I want to do mandatorily, not for the staff, for the program directors. This is not counting the Canva. One is to show you all how to distribute the digital business cards to your staff.
Yes.
Right? Because it's the hottest thing since sliced white bread, right? It's very cool. But there are a number of ways to do it, right? And what I don't want is people not to use it, right? So that's going to be maybe 20 minutes. In the same training, and here's where I'll go here. This is my Cultural Center email, right? I open it up in my browser. There are 2 things that I want every staff member, when they open up their email, to be able to see. On the right-hand side, Carmen, you see the calendar? We've created, and let me see if I have it open. We've created 2 public calendars, right? Let me see. Come on, you. And they are here. One is called the PRCC, PACHS, and MBHR public calendar. The other one is called the video conferencing, right? So if you open up a tab right now and go to your email, right? Can you display this? It should be down here, like show side something.
Why isn't it? Espérate. Why isn't it? Hold on. There we go. Okay.
You see it?
Espérate, where? Wait, no. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Where am I going?
See this row up here of icons?
Okay.
Are you seeing it?
Yes.
Okay. So you click on this one, 31, the cat, which is the icon for the calendar.
Okay. Click on that. Okay, I'm clicking on that right now.
See this, the calendar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the two calendars I just mentioned, the purpose of the first one is a public calendar that we're going to create a page on the web. This means that whenever PHI does anything that's public, right, you can go ahead and click and put this on and actually upload the leaflet to the calendar so
Oh, I like
people can download it, right?
I like that.
Yes, and that everyone in the PRCC every day when they check their email will see what the day's events are apart from their from their appointments and meetings. They'll see what the PRCC people have programs, right? And apart from that, if you go here, look at these three dots. You see these three dots?
Mhm.
Click on it and you'll see select calendars.
Okay. Yeah, I have mine, birthdays, Trans Chicago, and holidays.
Okay, so now you want to add, how do we do this? Okay, open up your calendar tab,
Mine?
like I, your calendar.
Okay, okay. Espérate, let me go.
Okay,
Espérate. So from that tab, correct?
in a separate tab.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Ya está abierto. Okay. Okay.
All right, now on the left-hand side, all right, when you click on other calendars, click on subscribe to calendar.
Okay. Hold on.
All right, when you see that, start typing the word Zoom 2425.
Subscribe to calendar. So what am I doing? Okay, I'm already on the and it says
Right. Type the word Zoom 2425.
Zoom
2425.
video conferencing. Yes.
Yes. So click and select to add that. That's the calendar that I'm telling you. And the purpose of that calendar is for you to see who has reserved the very nice video conferencing room on the second floor at 2425.
So how could I add that to my calendar? So I clicked on it, it popped up and it's showing me time zone.
Okay, now you see it on the left-hand side of your calendar, right?
Yeah, it says setting for other calendars. Yeah, holidays.
Okay, but
And-
it's there. It's the Zoom one is there, right? So now you should go back to your mail tab that we were just in.
My mail.
Right.
Okay.
Look at your calendars and go to the three dots that I was saying.
Okay.
Then select
So, calendars.
right? And you should see now the video conferencing calendar.
No me está saliendo.
Okay.
What did I do
Oh.
wrong?
Okay, you share your screen with me. Let me get out of sharing here.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Right click. Share. Oh my God.
What's the
Yeah.
matter?
Window. What? Okay, I'm happy I have you on here because it's saying Google Chrome might not have screen recording permission on your computer.
Okay, that's fine. You're not recording.
I'm not. So
I'm
go ahead.
recording. I'm recording.
Okay. See?
Now, it's only if you want to record, then Matt has to come and give you permission because that's in the
I
settings.
want to record, but it's not letting me share my screen because I don't have recording.
And you clicked on the presenting?
Yeah.
Are you presenting your entire screen?
So I clicked entire, then I did window. Should I do tab instead?
Try a tab. I mean, it's just a tab on the.
Let's see. Okay, here. Let's do, here we go. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Can you see me? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm clicking on here, right?
All right, yes.
And then I'm
So,
where
click
are
on,
my details?
no, go up to where it says select calendars.
Select.
That arrow, you're there. Yeah, go back and you'll get the three dots, right?
There we go. There we go. Okay. All right.
Click on select calendars.
See?
Okay, refresh your page. Go back to select calendars.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Should
Alright.
I
Check it. Yep, check it. And then go back to the original, right, date. Now go to March 29th. All right, you see that test 1 p.m.? That's
Oh,
the video conferencing. In other words, you as a program director, right, as head of PHI, let's say you want to take the fancy new video conferencing room for a drive, right? This tells you when someone else has reserved it, so you can't reserve it, right? So you can, and since it's on first come first serve, then you put in 11 a.m. on that day, and everybody else will see that you've reserved it,
awesome. Okay.
right? So the only thing that we're doing is we're going to do a little Google Doc, like, you know, and I hate that we have to do it, but we have to do it, is, you know, we're going to kick your ass if you leave crumbs and coffee cups, and because people do that.
But Alejandro, eso es malas mañas.
Yeah, no, but, you know, the problem is if I don't say that, then Clarisa's the one that's going to come yelling at me, right? Because she's the one that's there.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they left, and they, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's true, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, having said that, that's the purpose of that second part of the training, right? So you see 2 new calendars. One is the public events, but that's the whole point. I want to be able to, just the program directors is the business card, this Zoom, you know, the video conferencing reservation calendar, and the public events. All in all, it shouldn't take more than 45 minutes, and then we'll never bother you again for a month.
That's okay.
All right.
Okay, cool. Wait, really quick. So, digital business cards, public events, and the conference room.
Yes, exactly. Right. And so I'll invite all only program directors, right? And it will be mandatory. Like,
Mandatory.
so that will be that, right? Yeah,
Right.
I think
Mandatory.
so that's all I got, right?
Cool.
I know at one point when we first met back in whenever it was, right? You had said you were interested in putting out a newsletter. At the bottom, if you look at the website, let me get the control back, the presenting. I did put a sign up at the bottom, at the footer, so people can sign up via email, right, to the, where am I here? Let me see, let me share.
Yeah, because I had met with Xiomara for that, and we were excited. However, I know I did it. I wasn't sure if it was like I wanted to have like PHI to have a newsletter, ¿verdad? Pero I was like, I know Xiomara had mentioned that PRCC has a newsletter, and we could like submit like, you know, updates on that newsletter. So I'm like, does it make sense to have a PHI newsletter?
Okay,
And
so this is the sign up, right? This is where it goes straight to our sign up list on Constant Contact.
okay.
Now, having said that, I have 2 things to say about that idea. And no offense to anyone, but don't let our disorganization stop you,
Okay.
right? So I appreciate and I love Xiomara, right? But we've got to our job is to get stuff done, right? If she made a suggestion and after 2 weeks, you know, it's not happening, maybe a suggestion would be, why don't we alternate? If you have enough news to do a PHI newsletter from the PRCC, right, then we design one, and even if it's monthly. Like, I can't remember the last time a newsletter came out from the PRCC.
Okay. Okay.
Right, so either it's a blended one or PHI says, okay, every 3 weeks I'll have enough blurbs from all of my programs to do pictures and blurbs, and you know, this is the latest, right? You make
Okay.
sure your funders' emails are on that list, because you can do a separate list and call it PHI funders list. You can send it to more than one list, but the point is, you know, you want to make sure that these people who we've already talked about thanking on the website get that newsletter.
Yes. And no, and just to confirm, like Xiomara didn't tell me, oh, we have no, that was me. Like, okay, PRCC has a newsletter. Should PHI have a newsletter as well?
Right. All I'm saying is it doesn't matter. 8 months later, there's no newsletter.
Got it.
That's my point, right?
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
one thing is to say, hey, it was a good idea. I can't do it. It just, the other thing is to say, maybe it's every month, right? I think it's a wonderful idea, right? And I would hope, even though this is like, when hell freezes over, I would hope that the other departments do it as well. Education, because we do that much work. If everybody did it once a month, that means we'd have 4 newsletters a month.
Mm. Okay. And our funders, because I know when I was thinking about newsletters, I thought the same thing. I'm like, we could have a mailing list, right? Our funders would be on there. And that way, they could similar to the website. I'm like, oh yeah, the application or the sponsorship package, boom, done, and I was thinking about that. I'm like, and not only that, I wanted like a newsletter for our participants, because, especially all these events coming up and like these group discussions, I'm like, there's no follow-up. Like even now I'm telling staff, I'm like, we need to create a system where we follow up. Obviously ask our participants, hey, could we follow up with you? Could we call you? And once they give us the permission, that's it,
Exactly. Because, look, they buy in. I'm not a fan. My experience has been, Jose Jose and I are always arguing about technology, right? He says, oh, Alejandro's cost us so much money, blah, 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 blah. I believe in technology as a tool. But just because we have the technology, like we put them on a mailing list, we still have to follow up in person or a phone call. Or, in other words, I don't believe Facebook mobilizes anybody, even though it says 300 people are considering attending. You end up with 5, right? In other words, it's that human connection, especially with us, with the kind of work that we do in our community, that says, okay, these people are thinking about me.
Yep.
Right? I need to do this. So that's my only point. But, look at just talking to you, the brainstorm right now is I'm going to send another email after I talk to Matt and Xiomara. But I think every head of program of the pillars, right? Public health, economic development, they should give us a list of your email, of funders' emails, so we can add them in advance to the email list, right? Even if it's 2 or 10. The point is, when Xiomara or whoever you assign to, or if it's you, when you go into constant contact, you'll see the checkbox, send it to what mailing list, boom.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So anyway, that's where we're at.
Okay, cool. I like this because even when I first started, I'm like, yeah, like there needs to be a lot of like rebranding, because I feel like PRCC, we've been in the community for what, 50 years? Yeah, 50 years, ¿verdad? And I feel with time, and this is, I think it just happens, right? With time, it's like, I feel like we've become a hole in the wall, if that makes sense,
I don't understand the metaphor quite, but I believe that you're right. There are too many different pieces pulling in different directions.
Yeah. Like, for example, Vida Sida, right? That was like the pillar, if you will, right? The trailblazer, right? Of PHI.
Sure.
And now, and that's why I'm trying to move it. Now it's become a place where you get your assistance with light and gas bill, your utilities, and I'm trying to take that and bring it back, change that narrative. Like, okay, we're still here. We still do free testing. We still do condom distribution, education, prevention, because right now Vida Sida has become CETA, the CETA program.
Right. Now, but see, I agree with you, but this is how do we manifest this in everything in our public work? In other words, where on the website, because there is no place, could you go to see your definition of Vida Sida, right? Or even of the work that they do, right? Sure, if I went to Flickr, I could see the history of World AIDS Day for the past 20 years, because we're great at that, right? But what about now? It's absolutely what you say. Because everybody, first of all, the staff has to buy into the rebranding. Right? And there has to be a place they can point to on the web, on the Facebook page, right? That says, this is who we are now, from 1988 to 2023.
I agree. And I feel like la gente se acostumbraron, like,
It's true. It's easy. Because in the day-to-day, listen, unless you have the experience, because a lot of us experience to take the macro view, right? What they call the 30,000 foot, then you're stuck in every day, what's the horrible Dunkin' Donuts, make the donuts. Make the donuts every day at the same time, the same kind of donuts, right? You get stuck in that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then it feels comfortable because then you don't want to do anything else.
Exactly. No, I completely agree. And even like my family, when they know I work at PRC, they're like, eso todavía está abierto. Like they were like, they're like, oh, it kind of like again became this hole in this wall, like, oh yeah, they're there, I guess.
Yeah. No, I think it's also a fight to how do we continue to make ourselves relevant? How do we keep our audience and build on the audience? We do great work in education and public health. We're starting out with housing and economic development, right? But we can't abandon one for the other.
Exactly.
Right? Our people have skills in these different things. So,
no, I agree. So I'm excited.
Okay, so if there's anything, look, you have my phone number, you have my email. Shoot me a text. Let's figure it out. I really like the idea for the newsletter. Let's figure it out, right?
Okay. Awesome. Cool.
All right. Thanks for giving me the time.
So much. And look, we did an hour. I gave you more time.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you for the extra 8 minutes,
Yes, the extra time for last week.
That's right. I forgot. You stood me up.
Yeah, I stood you up. And it's funny. I'm like, it wasn't intentional, I promise. But I'm like, oh yeah, it's 11:30.
No, don't worry about it. All right.
Thank you so much. Bye, Alejandro.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.